Welcome to Season 3 of Visual Novel Book Club. Woo!
Woo!
Hey, I'm your pal Slowbeef. With me, just like last time, is our good friend TurboC.
Howdy.
Devious Vacuum.
Hello.
Pullahoko.
Hey, ya.
My friend Jim.
Hello there.
You always sound the least interested to introduce Jim.
Huh? Who, me?
Yeah. Okay.
Well,
Jim.
He did kind of just drop at the end. You're like, my good friend, Jim.
Well, everybody's got this, like, cutesy name or whatever, or, like, cool boy alias or something, and then, you know, like Pullahoko.
How'd you know about my other internet name, Cool Boy Alias?
Oh yeah, that's the best
That's a
name.
really good
That's
one.
the greatest name. That's totally not just some. That's totally not just something I'd pull out of my butt like 10 years ago when I was making my YouTube channel. It just stuck with me.
I don't know what that's like. No, it's just like Jim. All right, listen, but it's time to talk about the visual novel we've started on. It's Who Wants to Take It Away?
It's
You want to remember what it's called?
Is it called Hustle Cat by Dayton Ido?
Yeah, it's Hustle Cat. And I gotta apologize first off because I know normally we sort of lead off with like here's what the readings are, and we didn't really do that last episode because we just sort of decided on the spot there. But for your following at home, we are playing along. We are going to go. We're all going to go on the same route and with the option of Finley as the character. We're Finley's route, and yeah, you can find information on that online. And we're going until the start of your first day at the job.
Pretty much as soon as they say like open the store, right? Or like let's start like open the store, right?
Yeah.
Is that it? And Finley is I think it's actually I'm here about the job, but now you've got my interest. Help, and then I think you can just do whatever, right? Like help Mason and Hayes and
yeah, for the most part. I mean, like this game isn't super like stringent about the choices. I mean, so if you're like I want to, go with the Finley route, you just pick the choices that you think are hang out with Finley more or, would make her happy or talk to her more.
It's a quick search.
There's a one point
find the exact thing.
question.
Yeah. It seemed pretty easy. Like if I didn't have the solution in front of me, I think I probably could have sussed out important
It's
thing.
no
But
ever 17.
Yeah,
No.
You don't get Finley points doing non-Finley activities.
Right. Another quick plug, that not that she needs it, but if you don't have the game and can't get it or whatever and want to follow along, Dodger on YouTube has done a playthrough of it, and I believe she starts with the Finley route, so if you want to follow along, that's a pretty good Let's Play of it. She does with Oscar Pimp.
Let's not plug other people on other podcasts though, or anything, okay? I mean, that's,
Yeah, we've never
Sure.
done that before.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, Dodger is definitely our competition.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Yes.
What we meant to
stealing everything from us.
Pretty much the
we'd be
exact same
making
level.
bank if we
yeah,
didn't
what we
have
meant
earn
is
our way.
absolutely don't go listen to that thing they just said.
Yeah, you know how it's either like visual novels or high-end PC gaming kind of podcast. Yeah, there you go. Anyway, I'm sorry.
So this game is...
Yes.
First of all, it has fantastic music. I mean, just from... As soon as I booted up, I was like, oh, this is great. I love this. It's fun. I like it. It's high energy.
I like it. It's just repetitive. It's really repetitive.
Yeah, there's only like 3 songs, I guess.
I'd say so. I like the background choices. It's sort of main theme. I think it'd actually do better with a little less audio processing because like the vocals are auto-tuned and very echoey. And
I know what you mean. It was pretty, it's pretty extreme in that direction.
So
Not extreme, but maybe like, I agree with you.
I guess I just wasn't expecting...
Plus point.
Like, that... I guess I was expecting only the most artificial sounding music on a visual novel. Like, if it was like a guitar, like an acoustic guitar and like real human vocals, I would have been like, what is this?
Yeah, what the hell is this? Like, get this piano out of here.
Does anybody have any expectations going into Hustle Cat?
I've seen a bit of it. I think this is just going to be a nice game. I think it's just going to be cute and nice, and I think we'll have a good time.
Yeah, I sort of screwed the pooch on one of the quote-unquote reveals in that people have cat forms in this thing, so...
Oh, I forgot!
I did too. I totally forgot.
Yeah.
I'm like, what was this game again? Oh, I forgot. Good, this will be revealing. And then you
Alright,
screw the pooch again!
I had a theory. Yeah, I even was going to bring up my theory that I think they have cat forms or something.
Well, it's also kind of obvious. I mean,
I'm
let's
glad
be
that none
alright,
of you pay
yeah.
attention
Yeah.
to our podcast.
We're not spoiling it now, but it's like in the first episode, you're like, oh, that's that dude's cat form. Come on.
Well,
Yeah, no, yeah.
Well, at least I didn't say that it all takes place in virtual reality, so...
Right, yeah. that's
Plus,
true,
it was a
right.
dream.
All right, let's not unlock all of Hustle Cat's secrets right off
He
the
was
bat.
dead from the beginning.
I saw a stream of of all the routes in this entire game, like crammed into 4 hours one time, and I like remember parts of it. I really remember like the beginning and one of the endings, and like that's it. So, so everything else is pretty new. But I knew about the twist. If it's even a twist, I think it was even.
I think
a
this
part
comes
of,
fairly-
like,
Well, wait.
advertising for the game.
Yeah.
Actually, and I know I joke about it. Should we edit this part out for people at home?
I feel like at this point they, either have already played through, gotten the reading part, or I don't know.
And like legitimately, I think they really telegraph it in the beginning. I
Well,
don't think they're
so
Yeah, that's
I
fair.
did actually
Okay.
say that in our pitch that we already released, so...
Oh,
That's what
okay,
I
sure,
said.
then.
Yeah.
All right, that's fair
If,
then.
if
Okay.
we forgot, they haven't.
People on the
They-
internet never forget.
Yeah, and
Oh,
they
they
have
don't.
like
They
a
do
shorter
not.
break than we do. We went like, I don't know, like 4 or 5 weeks between recording that episode and this one.
Yeah.
And for them, it's like 2.
No, that's true. Yeah. All right. Fair enough. Okay.
Motion passes.
So, motion passes. All right.
So we start with
the-
choosing
yeah.
our Avery.
Yes.
Yeah, choose your Avery, just like those online choose your avatar sites.
So I think it's your resume is what the create character screen looks
I
like.
Kind
thought
of.
it was
Yeah.
Craigslist, right? There's like
Craigslist,
a
that's
Craigslist
Yeah.
profile thing. Yeah.
Clever stuff there from the beginning.
I love their stupid names.
So Craigslist, yeah. So yeah, I was a little confused at first because I'm like, oh, can you change the name from Avery Gray? But you can't. I believe you can pick Avery's appearance and pronoun preference.
Yeah, those are the only things you can actually change. The other things are
Right.
like hobbies are listed, and I think one of them is like top class memer or something
Yeah,
like that.
meme curator or something.
Yeah.
So we already
As
know
far
what we're
as-
getting into.
As far as Avery's appearance, Avery looks. I mean, you pick sort of like there's like a skin. There's like one of 3 skin tones, and then it's kind of like hair length is sort of the options you get.
Yeah, so there's
That's-
only 6 choices pretty much.
Right.
Yeah, they're not
Your
radically
Avery
different
will
either.
always have white hair and sort of
Right.
the same face.
Yeah, Avery's not radically different between the
Avery's
six,
just
but, yeah.
generally androgynous, so it's kind of a form that can fill a lot of what you want it to fill. So it's not. I don't know that they needed to, but it also like the skin color's pretty the same.
I mean, yeah. I guess Avery is about. I mean, I don't know. I guess sort of a blank slate character with a personality is a kind of a tricky thing to pull off.
Yeah.
Because you typically in video games you get like the silent character. That's like, hey, this is supposed to be like somebody you can project yourself onto relatively easily, but then you have like the person. You know what I mean? So then Avery does have a personality though. So
Yeah,
don't
Avery's
know.
kind of an annoying fucker, and I like them a lot. And but also I don't relate to the being a total slob and being late
Yeah,
for things.
she's
I've
just
actually
mad.
never been late in my entire life, so I just would
Oh,
never
get
be
the-
able to relate to that.
You're just mad that his room is a mess.
We just skip
I'm
over the fact that
joking.
said you've never been late your entire life.
I'm joking.
okay, I was gonna say, all right, like learn some bullshit about people every day. No, I'm kidding. So I'm sorry. Yes, take us away. So we pick our Avery.
Avery is living with their
I think it's grandmother?
aunt
No, that's
Aunt
right.
Wendy
yeah.
Yep.
in their aunt's apartment with their Aunt Wendy's white cat called Mochi. and starts by calling Mochi talking about pizza and sleeping on the couch. We slept till noon. The cat is like, the cat reminds me a lot of Tubbs from Neko Atsume, where just shows up, eats all the food.
It's a very fat, fluffy cat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Doesn't care about anything but food, and Avery's kind of in that kind of, I guess, like job search, depression situation where they're like, I have to figure my shit out, and I don't, they're stressed out and looking at job listings online, and all of them are like unpaid internships and stuff like that. It's like too real.
Stuff you could never relate to.
Salary, no.
There is a little bit of that, but at this point, I don't think he's gotten to the point where he really gives a damn, because he spends all his time looking at like cat videos on the internet.
Yes. Yeah, Avery's, I guess, supposed to be, I don't know, like college aged? Maybe even younger? Or like, not even younger, but like maybe like 19 or something?
This is one of the things that I could never like sort of figure out, and I just have to basically suspend, like, this is person in generic city living question mark life.
Yeah.
There's,
If I
how
had to
old are
guess-
they or whatever.
If I had to guess, I would say that they're about on the cusp of that age to where you could probably still get away with living with your family like that, but I'd say close to, like, it's time to get a job and move out.
And also, like, Avery says at some point that it was the parents' like goodwill and savings, so clearly has saved up from something, whether that's a high school job or whatever, like has been like moved here and has been doing something in the prior life to earn money that is living off of now.
Yeah.
So yeah, Avery's kind of, I don't know, but the fact that Avery is like, you know, a big mess and eating pizza all the time and sleeping till noon kind of makes me want to skew them younger. Just like, oh, you haven't had, like, you haven't quite heard the wake up call of like, come on, this is serious. But who knows? Because looking for a job is depressing no matter how old you are. So.
Yeah,
But,
I hear you.
yeah, and especially in that realm where Avery seems to, like, you know, Avery's obviously ends up working at this cafe, and so they're, you know, looking for sort of like entry level general skill type jobs, which is like extra depressing because it's like all, you know, because it's like all this unpaid stuff, and so they're like, where's Greg's list? I need to look for more jobs.
Am I misremembering though? Because he doesn't find the. I don't know if we're like jumping ahead a little, but like he doesn't find the job on Greg's list, right?
Yeah,
No.
no, that's
No, he
actually a
doesn't,
thing.
yeah.
It's not actually advertised anywhere except at the storefront.
Yeah, it's
So-
mysterious circumstances.
Yeah, he found the
Right.
store, or they found the store just by wandering around. They just decided to go for a wander.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna end up using every pronoun for
Yeah, I
Avery,
don't
'cause
think that's gonna be.
Yeah.
Let's clear the air here. Like, I'm sure all of us picked different, you know, pronouns and all of that. So if you're watching and getting confused, it's probably just gonna be Avery that we're talking about.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
going to say Avery and not use any pronouns.
Good luck.
Just to obviate everything and, you know, sound a little awkward. I don't mind. Whatever.
I wrote all my notes with "our."
yeah,
I'm
no,
not
I
even
did
joking.
too. I did
It's
too.
literally
Like
how I
from
thought of
LP,
it.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Oh, our?
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is me. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
This our
Alright.
Avery.
All right. You've one-upped me again, Jim. So,
Don't
So
you
Avery
Newman me.
finds. So
So,
Avery
yeah,
finds
Avery-
Cat Cafe.
call a callback, motherfucker. Where were we?
Yeah, Avery
If this
was
is your
walking
first
around.
episode of Visual Novel Book Club, I'd like to apologize.
So Avery is walking around.
Just walking around.
No, Avery goes decide to walk outside their apartment for whatever reason, walks around and stumbles upon a cafe called a Cat's Paw, sees an ad, you know, help wanted, and walks inside and sees a big muscly boy.
Yeah, in my notes, I said a tall and nice boy.
Can we stop for a second? I want to point out, like, I don't know if we can get a picture of this, but the cafe, A Cat's Paw, has like this really pointy death metal font And it's like,
It does.
I don't know if that's really, maybe that's why your business isn't doing so good. Maybe people think that there's something else going on there.
Oh, there is, clearly.
I have pictures that I took, but not. I'll see if I can just pull one up now and put it in our own personal Discord. And like an idiot, I looked up cats meowing on Google because I have multitasking problems.
Oh, that gives you
Hustle.
nothing but accuracy.
Yeah,
Cats meowing, I'm sure I'll find it.
and Avery even comments on a cat's paw and is like, this sounds like one of those, restaurants or businesses or something that just has like
There
a
it
random word as the name, and so no wonder they don't have any business. Like Avery has some criticism of like almost everything that that comes up, that really sort of, it's interesting because it sort of gives this interiority of like, don't you the player feel this way, but like Avery's a little bit mean. I'm like, Avery, calm down. Like, why don't you just
Avery.
enjoy something for once?
Not everything needs a sarcastic quip, Avery.
Yeah.
Strong disagree.
One
thing I will say about Cat's Paw is I love its interior design. Everything looks super nice.
Yeah, the interior is. I think Avery says like it looks like a chessboard exploded, which is not wrong. I feel like though it's like, imagine writing that. Like it's like, oh, I put all this effort into this game, and now my main character is just gonna drag everything all the creative decisions that I've made.
Avery turns to the camera and is like, what the hell, right? You see what I deal with?
I could never do that with my own writing, I guess is why I find it so interesting. Like, I don't think I could go that hard on my own creative decisions.
Well, and it's even like the artist and the writer are two different persons in it, so it's like you have to make sure that our instructions are make it look like a chessboard or an exploded chessboard.
Yeah.
So I actually wrote some notes here, and I do like the design of it. I think it's well drawn. I think it looks nice. But I wrote to myself, "Homestuck but with cats,"
Oh no!
because
You're
that's just
right.
what it reminded me of.
Land of cats and coffee.
Yeah.
Oh man. So yeah, this tall nice boy answers the door.
Slowbeef, what the hell?
Sorry.
We're just not
Anyway.
going.
Is this what you get with cats meowing? Is this what Google
that's-
gave you?
That's actually Hustle Cats Meow gave me a picture. Yeah, that picture.
Hashtag the resistance.
Okay.
And for those of you listening to the audio-only version, we're not going to describe it.
You'll never see, you don't need to see this.
You don't
You'll never
need to.
see
Yeah,
it.
you don't need to
We're
know.
just gonna spare
Cat
this.
Fefe.
Cat
So
cat
anyway.
fefe.
So So the
it
nice
is
boy
just Trump
answers-
with some cats.
no, stop. Oh god.
You gotta include
we're-
it now. It's too late.
I know.
God.
So we're here about the
Cut
job.
it. What's editing? We're already edit. Let's start the entire podcast over again.
Welcome to Ever 17.
No, we're just gonna leave this typo floating out there in the wind for 6 hours. Just like,
Welcome to Catter 17.
So we're here
So we
about
met
the
our
job.
first other character
Yes,
in
we
Hustle
meet
Cat.
Yes.
Landry, but we don't know his name yet. But we meet Landry, who's nice.
Pretty boy Landry, as I call him.
Oh well. Please, once we meet all the characters, we can talk about who everyone's type is and who everyone wants to date. Because we can have a whole ranking. That's extremely my shit. So, but for now, the nice boy asks us why are you here, and asks, I think, to give you a tour, and we said, actually, I'm here about the job, and he's like, he's like taken aback by this because his boss, Mr. Graves, doesn't advertise any other way than that window sign, so he's surprised, and throughout the entire interaction, Landry has this uneasiness with, like, the fact that Avery's there, and like he's excited and nice and everything like that, but there's this kind of like, why are you here? Why would you want to join us? Like, what? But we don't know why. And yeah, so we have Landry, we have Avery, So after some of the other characters, all the names in this game start to sound like made up names on a lifestyle blog. But I like but I like them anyway. But they're a little bit like they have an unlikeliness to them that these people with these names would all be together. But
and so after Landry gets us some coffee, and Avery pours a shit ton of milk and sugar in it, and gets judged by a cat for that, Graves comes down and
a convenient Siamese cat is nearby to judge Avery for liking their coffee too sweet with too much milk.
Yep.
I swear to God.
Alright, I'll stop.
Oh my god.
Okay, so in my notes I wrote, Graves shows up and this midlife crisis Tim Burton looking motherfucker is totally my type.
God, yeah.
So that's where we're going with this.
Oh, Graves?
Yeah.
We're talking about?
Which
Graves
immediately
looks so
explains.
silly.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, it's like, this is the time when Avery's snarkiness is wholly appropriate.
Yeah, Graves looks like they do not belong. They look like somebody's original Undertale character.
Graves is great. He's got like a skull. I don't know what that's called. It's not a necklace. It like clips to your collar.
Kind of like a thing you would put to keep a cape around you or something,
Yeah.
like a
Yep.
sword
Try
or something.
hard.
Yeah, I mean, he looks like he goes to Ren fairs. He is wearing two rings.
But like those long rings, like
Yeah.
you know, like very metal. Also, it immediately explains the font on the outside sign.
Graves is like, God, how do I put it? It's like if you did a self-insert into Twilight, how you'd want to look.
Yeah.
And you were
If you were
45.
the type. Yes.
Yeah, this is somebody who like still unironically plays Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. Like that's Graves. He is a very entertaining person. He starts by quoting the Telltale Heart at us because Avery, because he, of course, like every good OC, he has heterochromia.
Yeah.
And
It's
so
totally
Avery is like
heterochromia.
distracted.
It's not like a lens or anything. That would just be dumb.
Is that a thing? Like, I mean, I know it's a thing, but I mean, like, you just knew that off the top, like, that other characters have that, or? Because I was, like, writing down, like, Iris heterochromia here, like, it was, like, is that, like, a big thing in these games, I guess I'm asking?
It's not really. Yeah.
If
It's
you're
not
making
really.
a fan character, it's kind of...
Yeah, it's not
it
really a
was-
thing for the
yeah.
games, but it's my original character, and they have two colored eyes. One's for evil, one's for good, and that represents the duality of man. Also, one's
funny-
angel wing and one devil wing, and they can.
It's funny you say that, because Luke Skywalker's love interest in the courtship of Princess Leia had different color eyes, I believe, but...
See, I have an Australian
What?
Shepherd, so my dog has it.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I knew what that was.
Yeah, they do say that it's like common or more common.
It's
in
more
animals.
common in cats, yeah.
Yeah, which makes me right away. I don't remember that much about Graves, so I was like, was Graves a cat first? Is that why he's like this?
I didn't quite get that connection just yet, but I do know. Yeah, it is like a little bird skull that he has, or skulls,
Yeah,
I
little
guess,
birdie
right?
skulls.
Right.
So then Avery is like staring at him all weird because he has two different color eyes, which is rude. And so and he quotes Telltale Heart at Avery and freaks them out. And then just, I don't know, Graves doesn't seem like he much like a cat, doesn't seem like he enjoys interacting with people very much. And it's very eccentric, and I got the impression that he like kind of wished he kept being like, oh, Landry, didn't you already tell them all these things? And Landry's like, no, you tell them. And he's like, oh, I don't want to. And so he explains the cafe. So it's a cat cafe. People come in and they have coffee and cake, and they can pet the cats, and Graves takes in all these stray cats from all over the neighborhood. And
Oh
and,
yeah, one
you know,
thing that Slowbeef just posted a picture in the chat. I do want to point out that at some point that there's like a little anime opening, and all the characters have their own little like title cards for when they come up. Landry's is
Right.
like a piece of wood with like some shop tools next to it, and Graves is like these big chains with like bat wings and like
I got
it's
this necklace at
engraved
Hot
on-
Topic.
Yeah,
Right. Like, maybe, like, you know how, like, some of the good Castlevania DS games have those really ostentatious parts to them? It looks like this is, like, a boss signifier thing from that.
Yeah.
Sorry, but yeah.
So
and we should have mention this place is loaded with cats.
Yes. And
And I love the cats in the background, too. They're like
so there's a bunch of regular cats
walls and stuff like that. So I was actually looking at the Kickstarter before, and one of the things, like, I think if you backed, let me look at my notes real quick. If you backed for $500, you can help work with the artist and design one of the cats, or like have your own cat be in the game.
I was about to say, probably like there's a tier for your own cat.
So I think 2 people bought that, but I have no idea which ones they are. But I love all the background cats because they're all doing weird or asshole-ish things.
Putting on ham helmets.
So
They're not. We haven't talked about Heathcliff on this podcast.
No!
We're not going to get to it. I'm just saying. You can look it up on
Not
your own.
tonight.
Well,
No.
we got a long way to go before we want to get into that garbage ape meta, you know?
Yeah. All right.
So-
Moving on.
So Graves explains, you know, the cafe, and we get the premise of it, and he specifically says, like, oh, he's a good matchmaker between people and cats, which makes me think, like, oh, because also we're going to fall in love while we're working here. And overall seems like, I don't know, Graves is, eccentric and kind of mysterious, and kind of just seems to, like, do whatever he wants, whenever he wants, and is, like, this is the most present that he is during this interview.
Sort of indicative are the questions in his interview.
Yeah, so he interviews us.
Yeah,
but there's
my
also a
notes here.
point where Avery, when Avery sits down across from Graves, they're like, at first they're like intimidated by him, and they're like, oh man, he's kind of scary. And then by the end of their thought, they're like, I bet he's a nerd. I bet he's like, it's like, oh, he looks kind of scary. Actually, no, he just looks like he plays like role-playing tabletop games. I bet he's a nerd.
He's just super into, playing a rogue vampire in his D&D campaign.
He's turned his
so.
real life into
Yeah.
a LARP session.
Oh, and while we're talking to Graves, we meet another person who works at the cafe, Hayes. And Hayes is, this very silent, awkward type of character, and he makes the coffee, and he's very, very good at it. And he's also, like, very, I guess, skittish.
Skittish is a perfect word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he shows up briefly to bring more coffee.
And he made a picture with it.
Yeah, he made foam art on it of a little cat.
Hmm.
And Avery's like, I've only ever seen this on the internet, which is, like, same.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen, like, some kind of foam arts, but usually just, like, pattern stuff, not like, here's a fucking cat's head in your goddamn coffee, and it's gonna exist
Never
all of a
drink
second, and never move it either, I'd presume.
Like, I can't
don't know,
drink
but-
this. If I drink it, he'll die.
Yeah. But I think it seems like Hayes might have put the cat there so that Avery couldn't put, like, too much cream and sugar in their coffee. Because Avery's like, I don't want to put much stuff. I don't want to put more cream and sugar in it because it'll mess up the cat.
And just for the record, in my notes at this point, I put in, wait, are these dudes all cats? I forgot the backstory to this thing.
No, this is
We are
they're all
on
aboard a
top of our
space
game.
station in the future.
So Graves is
Where's
interview questions.
Hune? I don't understand.
Hune would love this game. So what did everybody say for all of the interview questions? The
Okay,
first
so
question
the
is, what's
first-
your favorite kind of cat?
Yeah. If I remember, I picked my cat.
My real answer was, there's like a generic, like, I don't know, cat breeds, which is my answer, but I picked one because I felt like that wasn't a good thing to say on a job interview at a cat cafe.
I just want to say I've got my notes here, and this reads like an actual interview because they will ask you, like, these really stupid, pointless questions like this.
So by the way, the interview questions do not affect your route in the game at all, unless you want the sort of final route, which I don't see any reason to hide it. It is Graves. So if you ace his interview and get all of the perfect answers for him,
True route unlocks.
yeah.
Then he
well,
instantly goes,
after
"I
you
love
do
you."
everyone else too, then you,
Yeah, right.
But do you date Graves in the Graves route, or is it just like
Hey,
you know
whoa!
him better?
Spoilers,
Well,
D-Back.
I don't know.
Yeah,
you don't
let's not-
necessarily
that's
date anyone
let's-
in their routes.
Let's
Like,
not go too far in this one.
yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know. I just that's a trope in visual novels that I dislike, which is like dating your boss, dating your teacher kind of thing. So like, I don't like the power differential thing.
I don't know, to be honest. I know some of them are dating, some of them are more friendly, different types of routes, but I don't know specifically for Graves.
So, favorite kind of cat? I answered tuxedo cat.
Same.
It's a good cat. Yes.
I said Maine Coon because my favorite current cat is Omar the Maine Coon. You should all look at his Twitter; it's fantastic.
That's a good cat.
I mean, his Instagram is really good. He's a big ass cat.
I'm sorry, I think you said the Twitter wrong. It's at the TurboC.
So then he asked, do you speak any other languages or know about ciphers? I think something like that.
Yeah,
Something like that.
It was literally, do you know any languages? How about ciphers? There are 3 options there. One is no. The other one is I know the language of dance, and the last one is some Japanese text, which slowbeef.
Hello. It is ie hanashimasen, which is no, I don't speak. And it's very Japanese 101, which is how I was able to read it. Like, it's not how a Japanese person would probably say that. It's how someone who is learning the language would say it.
So yeah. So
Yeah.
and then the next question
I'm not-
is.
I'm not
I guess-
trying to call out the writers of the game, by the way, or anything like that. I don't know if that context is
I guess that's
important or not.
the just like I really like anime answer.
Yeah.
I guess so, yeah. Like, I'm not expecting something like, all right, let's go to plain form here, and,
Yeah.
the correct, honorific, that's the word, whatever.
They did.
Let's move on.
They did use the kanji though.
Did they? Oh, you're right, they did. That's true.
So what was the next question? It was like what aquatic
Oh, yeah.
animal
What
describes you?
what marine animal would best represent you? And the anime nerds among you might notice a reference here. Did anyone catch it?
The reference?
Yeah, probably not. So I think when this game came out, Free was pretty popular, and and so the animals
Me
in
neither.
that are if you don't know Free, it's a swimming anime boy.
Swimming anime.
Yeah, swimming anime is the popular thing, and each of the characters has a similar aquatic animal theme going around with them. So that is what they are. And
Oh.
when I first played this game, I was like, that's weird. That's kind of interesting, and I didn't really notice that it was a reference until Butterfly was one of the choices. So that's what sort of confirmed. Oh, that's a reference to anime because creators of this game are no doubt big nerds,
Yeah, of course.
like myself, who caught the reference.
I think most modern visual novels kind of assume a background literacy in like I don't know things that internet nerds know about.
Yeah. Yeah, there's other references coming up in this game, too. We encounter a few of them.
Yeah,
Anyway, I picked a penguin.
Me
Penguins
too.
are cute.
penguin.
We're
Yeah.
on the same wavelength here.
Hell yeah! This is like our like we're like
We're in our element.
we have our this is why we work so well as a team. This is our like zodiac sign matchmaking type thing.
Wait, what happened? I went away.
Tell you what, you want to just ditch these guys and make our own podcast?
So we're all
But still
penguins.
record at the same time, so we're just talking over each other.
Battle of the podcast.
So next one is, what genre of music would you use to describe your work ethic? I don't remember all of these because I didn't actually write them down, but one is classically hardworking, I think another one is just chiptunes or something like
That's
that.
what I
Yeah,
picked.
I picked that one.
I swear
And
to God, you're hacking my answers.
And then the third one that I remember, I think there's 4 though, is punk. I'm not dead. I'm just resting.
That's what I chose.
That's what I chose too. Hell yeah.
I picked chiptunes,
Nice.
and in my notes I put because I am high strung and a bit much.
I didn't want to say it, but
I mean, I chose it
finally-
just because I like it. I don't know if that says anything about my work ethic.
So finally, he gives like the worst interviewer stereotype question, which is rate me as an interviewer,
Yeah,
and your
it was
options
at that
are
point.
1,
It was at that
10,
point
and
that I
7.5.
said, okay, this is an actual interview now because this is a question that they would ask you.
a bad interviewer would ask you.
Yeah, I would say a 1 immediately on that one. Because you asked that question.
Yeah.
I mean, it depends on how bad you need the job, I guess.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
like,
I've seen some
it's-
doozies in my time. We've got one at work, like an old one that I came across when I first got in. And there were questions like, tell me how many ways you can get 3 tennis balls out of a can. Or, the clock is broken, tell me what time it is, or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Those are surprised. So, like, going into a little bit of history here, those became popular because of Microsoft doing those sort of puzzly sort of questions.
Yeah.
And then and like during like tech boom, like everyone sort of attributed, the Microsoft sort of hiring method. And then they found out that those sort of like trick questions or puzzle questions don't actually attribute to actual performance in the job. So,
Shocking.
I interviewed with Google for a developer position, and this is after they moved from the puzzly questions, but they do like a day, like a solid day of whiteboard coding with all their different engineers and stuff. And it's a nightmare, and you're exhausted by the end of it. But like before that, they actually have a class you can take on taking the Google interview, which is like a 2-hour lecture. And I went there, and they said that same thing as, honestly. Well, the thing they said was, if you know anyone who works here at Google, get them to give you a reference, because statistically, that is still so much better than any other interview process than, like, in how well you do in job performance. And it's true, like resumes and interviews, like, fucking suck down the line no matter how you do them. But it was annoying, too, to go through this grueling interview and then just have them, oh, yeah, by the way, if you know somebody, let us know.
This is so real.
Yeah.
Is this what one of the themes that we're just going to be talking about throughout Hustle Cat, which is how much it sucks to interview for a job?
But if you're listening and you're interviewing for a job and they give you some bullshit puzzle question, know that they are decades behind on interview techniques.
Yeah. Yeah, you run away. Unless you really need the job, and then just fake it till you get in there, and then don't do any work, because they really don't know what they're doing anyway.
Yeah. And then you can learn to actually interview, and then you'll be important to your job. The last question after the rating Graves as an interviewer is Dracula's or Teenage Wolves?
Dracula's.
Dracula.
Dracula.
Fuck yeah,
Obviously.
fuck Teenage Wolves.
Oh, I guess I'm the only one that picked that then.
No,
Get out
wait,
of here,
no,
Teen
wait.
Jacob.
Hold on, when you say fuck Teenage Wolves, now do you mean in the good way or the bad way?
Is there a
both?
bad
Just
way?
move right on.
There's only
Don't
good
even-
ways to fuck Teenage Wolves.
There's no wrong way to fuck a werewolf.
Oh, teenage.
wait,
Never mind.
teenage. Yeah, no,
he-
let's take that back.
Never mind. Holy shit.
Wait, hold
Over
on a
that.
second. How young are we talking?
Edit that part. Shit. Okay.
So then Graves is like, oh, just kidding, and
He
what?
says he's kidding, but like, what marine animal would you say best
Yeah.
represents you? Graves, let's go back like 3 questions here.
Yeah, have you not been kidding this whole time?
I just put a lot of thought into these answers, you asshole.
So somehow, after all that, Graves decides to hire us. And when we ask what position we're being hired for, he says, we'll see.
My God, I hate Graves.
God, he's infuriating with all of his stuff. He gives Avery a
Can't
bunch
wait
of
to
paperwork.
date him. No.
This is a read on me personally for who I want to date in this game. But he gives Avery a bunch of paper, and a bunch of paperwork and to get hired, and Avery's like, oh yeah, it's just, all the onboarding legal stuff, blah blah blah, but Avery doesn't actually read any of it.
Yeah, how obvious could they be with this? Be like,
right?
Oh, I didn't bother to read anything, because I'm just
Avery,
like, property
come
taxes.
on.
Can we just get a little bit of
To
your
be
blood?
fair, though,
We
how
need it
many
for
of
the
you
legal
guys
team.
read your W-2 when you saw... No.
That's
At least
fair.
make sure it wasn't W-2 and then
Yeah, that's
I wasn't
Not
like, is this my
natural
soul?
seven.
Nope, not my soul.
turn me into a cat, whatever. As long as you got dental.
So after Avery signs their life away, we walk downstairs. Lunch are like, oh, how'd it go? And Avery says, see you tomorrow, coworker. And Landry goes like, oh, that's great.
That is definitely the tone Landry takes in most of this.
Yeah.
And then we get a little intro cutscene type cinematic thing, and this was
it's
really
like
cool.
An
I
anime
remember
opening.
when it came out, because this is just done in Ren'Py, and to do this kind
here we
of
go.
sort of it's something that starts to look like more conventional animation is actually pretty difficult. I mean, to do. So the illusion of like this animated introduction is really nice, and obviously they put a lot of effort into it.
It looks good.
You get to see
Good
all
job,
the
Date Nighto.
characters that you see and cats associated with them. Except for Graves, actually. It doesn't show a picture of a cat associated with Graves. But it shows like all the art and cool stuff. And yeah, it's just a nice sort of opening. And then at the last scene of it, I think is a light pole rusting a little bit.
Yeah, sinister rusty street lamp. And
What are your secrets, Hustle Cat?
so Avery's walking home, and they start to feel like they're being followed. And there's a black cat with heterochromia following them. And Avery's like, huh, look at this, there's a cat here. And tries to be like, hey, kitty, here, kitty, kitty. And the cat that is clearly Graves, or a reference to Graves, does not respond and just goes away.
Yeah, like they specifically mentioned the cat has heterochromia. You're like, yep, okay, we know what's going on.
Yeah. Avery does have nice instincts of trying to get the cat to bring it back to the cafe. So that could be adopted.
I will say, though, this is, I guess, me being the densest motherfucker alive, but, like, when I saw the cat with heterochromia, I was like, I wonder if Graves can turn into a cat. That might be the mystery of this whole thing.
It's quite a mystery.
So, I wasn't willing to mentally commit to it just yet. I was like, I need more clues.
I mean, it's a possibility, but we don't want to rule anything out at this point.
Well, I mean, yeah, to be fair. And I would think, too, like, Graves, with the ability to turn into a cat and follow you, maybe, would want to do that instead of just giving you the job right at the end of the interview. Just like, all right, do I be seeing another candidate? I'll just think about it over a day or something like that, and then follow you home and learn what you're really like. That's what I would do if I were a cat interviewer. But anyway, I digress.
So Avery goes home and is like stoked. They have a job, they eat some pizza, and watch more of their favorite cat videos, which are videos of a cat named Jelly Donut that does tricks, and one of the main tricks, I guess, is balancing a donut on their head. And that's Jelly Donut the cat, and Avery's real into Jelly Donut the cat, which is important later, I guess.
D-Back, is this derision in your voice about Jelly Donut the cat, like, imagined on my part, or do you just really hate Jelly Donut?
I mean, it's cute. I feel like Avery's really into this cat video and, like, following this cat as a personality, and I cannot relate to that at all.
It's a cat that looks like it's frowning, guys.
And then Avery blames a couch for how soft and supple it is to drain him into it. It's like, dude, like, you're watching cat videos on the couch. We all know why.
Yeah. And then, predictably, Avery they were like, oh, you have to come in early tomorrow at like 8 a.m. for training, and Avery was like, what? And it's like, oh no, 8 a.m. And so Avery almost wakes up late, and Mochi wakes them up, and they hurriedly run to the cafe, but the cafe's only like 10 minutes away. It's like a 10-minute walk. So,
which is why I'm sort of amazed that Avery never saw it before.
Yeah. It's magic, obviously.
Yeah, there's like they attempt a backstory on that one. They're like, well, the streets around here are so quiet and weird that sometimes you'll never know what you're next to. That's literally almost. I'm not verbatim quoting, but I'm very close to quoting the line that he says in the beginning.
It's like these streets are so quiet you can't even read the names of the signs around you.
Sometimes I just turn
man.
and think it's an alleyway, and it's not.
So
Well, anyway,
now we meet
after
everyone.
passing Dog Hotel and Elephant Massage Parlor on the Cat Cafe.
Elephant massage parlor seems really dangerous.
You never forget the happy endings.
Oh my god! Get the fuck out of here! What the?
Fired. This is actually the last episode of this podcast, everyone. I'm sorry.
Oh man, might as well just stop the podcast now. We're not going to top that.
We
Now
might
finally,
tonight.
we finally meet the characters. The characters are here.
Go ahead, T-Back.
I'll
Pick up
never
the
forget
pieces.
him.
Next time, we'll learn about the characters.
No. All right.
Okay.
What do we got? We got.
The first person we meet is Reese, who's a short, kind of angry child. What's with this sassy lost child? Says Avery Gray. And Reese is already annoyed. Reese is kind of like I guess like I'm in charge, and I don't know if he really is.
Reese insists that he is second in command. I think he's like one of the longest, he has the most tenure of everyone, but I don't think there's actually a structure.
So,
I'm
yeah.
just guessing Turbo said editing their wiki on Muscle Cat.
No,
So,
it's
yeah, so
like
Reese
TV
is
tropes,
kind of-
thank you!
his character is kind of like he's the loudmouth, but he's also like really shrimpy.
Yeah, he's also like very clearly like the kind of like really soft-hearted person who's like, no, I'm tough. He's the mute of this game.
Oh no.
And then while we're talking, we get our picture taken by Finley, who and she is tall and has very long hair, and she's the social media person, and she's like, oh, I like taking candid photos of everyone, so I'll take another one of you once you've forgotten about it. Which is like, Finley, don't take pictures when I'm not ready for you to take pictures of me.
Seriously.
And then Graves is there, and he's like gonna say something else about Finley, but she's like, no, don't tell them yet. I don't want to ruin the surprise. So there's some secret about Finley. The next person is
Finley's
Mason.
actually a dog!
What? No! Spoilers! Fuck!
The next
She's
character
infiltrating
is...
from Dog Cafe.
Oh no, our enemies.
We had to edit that one in
Dog
post.
Hotel!
Oh no, a hotel for dogs.
Damn it. Dogtel. Anyway.
So the chef is Mason, and she's like this stoic, kind of tough looking woman.
Yeah.
And yet at the same time, she allows Finley to kind of like push her to respond positively, and is like, oh, come on. And Mason's just like, ugh. And, just says like a grunt or a or whatever. And then Finley's like, oh, you're excited though, aren't you, Mason? And like moves her head so that she nods, and Mason just allows this to happen, and Avery comments on that, like, oh, okay, maybe she's actually, actually
Sorry,
not,
did we
not
talk
that
about
scary.
Finley yet?
Yes, Finley's adorable.
Oh yeah.
Should we
Finley.
talk more about their physical appearances?
Sure. Like, Mason is dark skinned, I think red or pink hair, and sort of
Hat at a
broad
goofy
build.
angle,
Yeah.
big
I was-
jacket.
I was talking about Mason. Did I say Reese?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Mason's more skinny and slender and smaller.
Tall.
Yeah, Mason has like red hair and is big and tough looking. I don't know. She has like a structured jacket, and
Mason might be the tallest, except maybe for Mason and Landry are tall. Reese is short.
Finley is she, like I said, she has really long hair. It's like dark on top and lighter toward the ends, and she has like I don't know, I guess like a dress and some leggings and bright colors, and definitely looks like a social media manager.
Yeah.
Very fashion forward.
And she's very over the top in her expressions, especially compared to everyone else. Like, she moves her hands a lot more than the other characters, and she has like sort of more cartoonish expressions.
Yep.
The next person, and then of course we already met Landry, who's tall. He has dark skin and dark hair, and that's about it. I don't know. He's like I guess he's like the boy next door kind of character. He's just got like a shirt. And then Hayes has light skin and blonde hair and glasses, and kind of looks like a programmer nerd. He has,
very
like, a hoodie or
skittish kind of
something.
guy.
Yeah, he has a lot of his sprites do a lot of like turning back and forth, like turning
very
away
like
from
kind
you.
of insecure, like body expressions.
What's the opposite of tsundere again? No, wait.
That's a
not
trap. I'm not answering that.
it.
Good call.
No, it's there's no, yeah, I got that very like shy kind of personality type, right?
Yep.
And let's see. So that's all of our cast, and as we are going to sit down with the group and have breakfast together, Finley stops us and asks if our shirt is a reference to something that and she's like, is that a
Blast
reference
Zone.
to
Akia
Blast
from
Zone?
Blast Zone. Yeah. She's
Yeah,
like, I love
and-
Akia too.
And we're like, what? Which, I've had this conversation. I've been the Finley in this conversation way more than I've been the Avery in this conversation, and it's the worst, and I hate it. I was so upset. I was like, no, I can't believe we're doing this to sweet Finley right off the bat, and being like, I've never heard of that anime you like, or whatever.
Oh, I just got this shirt from a friend.
God,
Is it
what a
something
Avery, what a
cool?
jerk.
But
so we have...
what's the alternative then? To pretend?
Yeah, I once had
Is that-
somebody ask me who my favorite doctor was, and I'm like, the third one, I guess.
Sorry, but Doctor
Like,
Who
I
fan,
have
the third
no
one's a weird
idea. Yeah,
answer.
Doctor Who. I have no idea who any of the doctors are.
My general
Not-
practitioner usually, but I mean, sometimes I go to a specialist.
But there's pretending on the part of the people who actually know what the shirt is about, then they act too cool to be like, oh, I don't know what this shirt is. Somebody said you should wear this, and I did.
Yeah. I mean, it's not, you shouldn't lie and say that you know the thing when you don't, but like, I think there's like a nice way of doing it, and then there's like the sort of awkward, like, oh, I don't know.
What if you're hitting on someone though? Then you have to kind of. No, I'm joking.
Then
But,
you can say like, I actually don't know where this is from, but like, and that's kind of what you have the option
Give me your
to have,
number!
Avery.
Wait, Mike, are you talking about negging someone because of the shirt you're wearing that you don't know the backstory for?
No, I'm saying like doing that thing that's like, hey, I really like your shirt. Yes, me too. Like they do in the romantic comedies, you know? Like that, yeah, I love whatever it is you're talking about. I'm attracted to you and I have to pretend. That kind of like subterfuge game that always works out well before the person gets like embarrassed and humiliated, but then like redeems themselves through the course of the movie.
Yeah, so
Oh,
And
good.
then
I'm glad you
finds
know how
out
this
that it's
game's
something
gonna
that they
go.
actually did know all about. Yeah.
And
Sorry,
then-
spoilers.
And then they saved the community center.
So we have the option to say to respond to Finley two different ways, and we said basically she's like, oh, if you don't know what it is, then that's sorry, I don't want to. I won't tell you about it. Then I've been called out for a person who likes video games, and we can say, but now you've got my interest. And then she talks
Then
about
she
this video game that
gushes.
she likes. And she makes a bunch of goofy faces. I love Finley's facial expressions. They're adorable. And,
I won't say who,
yeah.
but like Finley reminds me of someone like I've met in real life who, like, you know, which like it always like kind of bugs me when not like, you know what I mean, like you always get that like
You can say it's me. It's fine.
it's you, yeah, absolutely, but like no, you know what I mean, and then it's like this is so weird. I feel like that person's actually doing this right now, and it's, you know what I mean, but like whatever.
I relate the most to Finley so far, I have to say. So I like her.
You mean you relate to her like, as in you relate to her like, I get where she's coming from?
I'm like that's the character that's me.
Means?
Yes,
Okay, yeah,
that's the character that's
gotcha.
me. I like feel like I relate to her more than I relate to Avery.
I relate to Graves, and I just don't want to admit it. No,
Well, that's the way in which we all relate to Graves in ways we don't want to admit. So Mason makes breakfast for everyone. Avery doesn't know what a frittata is, which is fine. It's an egg thing.
But you know what? Like, this is kind of BS because they're like, it's a frittata. It's just eggs and vegetables. It's easy to make. And like, watching people make a frittata, like I've seen my friends make one.
You don't know how to make mashed potatoes.
It's okay. Well, okay, but it's not easy.
Here we go again.
There's a lot of eggs. You need a big fucking pan or pot because it needs to like kind of come up. It's not your regular pot. Like you're sitting there slicing fucking vegetables to make this thing. Like frittatas are work, motherfuckers. You know, I'm just saying.
It's clear that
whatever.
Mason is a really skilled chef and like also doesn't really think much of her abilities.
No, Mason's a dick who fancies themselves. What's that guy's name? The
Yeah, no,
British
you're
chef.
doing a great
Ramsay.
job here. At this.
Thank you, Gordon Ramsay. That's right.
Keep going at it. You're
mean-
really doing a
Just
great
don't
job
anyone there's a-
trashing
they're
this
a
fictional
donkey.
character.
Hey, Gordon Ramsay, here's this gross dish that I made. What do you think? Oh, you should kill yourself. That's disgusting.
That's the greatest Gordon Ramsay imitation I've ever heard in my goddamn life.
I think Mason.
I didn't
is
know
a
we
little
had
nicer.
Gordon Ramsay on the podcast.
Mason is a little nicer, but does take a hard line against pizza for breakfast. What do we think about this, Council?
Oh, pizza for breakfast, totally in favor.
Yeah, in favor.
Cold pizza for
Mason's
breakfast,
way off.
preferably.
Oh my god, what is wrong with you people?
Doesn't Mason say something like?
Mason
okay,
says, you eat here now. Always.
Yeah, the response
Like,
to us saying
I'm
we
cooking
ate
for
pizza
you
for
because-
breakfast, yeah, is just she looks at us with complete and utter contempt and disgust and says,
Mason is like, I'm concerned you are a biobomb for other people, and we need to fix you. So,
"You have committed blasphemy."
no,
I mean,
does
I
ex-
get feeling that way about Avery, though. Like, Avery's kind of a disaster.
well,
But it
and-
also, it kind of creates a feeling of family, though. Like, oh,
Yeah.
jackass,
they're
you're
all
eating awful.
they're all sitting at a table together, and they're learning about each other, and it's like, wow, you eat awful. No, I'm cooking for you now.
Yeah, yep.
And they're all
Yeah,
learning
yeah.
about their new co-worker.
Yeah, there's a lot of aggressive
While they're still
helpfulness.
human and not going to be sacrificed.
But yeah, they're all like, there's a lot of aggressive helpfulness or like aggressive friendliness, which feels very familial. It's like, I'm gonna help you whether you want it or not, you little shit. Like, that whole kind of
Maybe
thing.
this is setting up a thing like he has to choose, like he has to take the curse, but then he gets to choose whoever gets their curse lifted. So they're all trying to butter him up so that he'll pick them.
Ooh.
You can
That's-
have the
Would be
curse
mean.
lifted, or you can have pizza for breakfast.
It's like It Follows, but with cats. Yeah.
Oh my god.
I don't think everybody. I don't think it's
That's
really
my
a
pitch.
horror movie though. If you're just like, no, don't turn me into a cat. No.
And you have to work. You have to work into the cafe until. Yeah. All right.
The last thing a bunch of anime people don't want to be is a cat. No.
It's called It Doesn't Follow.
Oh no, a paid job.
Oh god.
That doesn't make sense exactly. Hence the title. Anyway, sorry.
I just got that thinking guy picture. That meme. It doesn't follow. Thinking.
See, the real curse is it's a paid job, but you have to work in customer service.
Now that is a curse.
It's a cat's paw, more like a monkey's paw, am I right, folks?
Oh man, move over. They never forget the happy ending. We have the new episode title.
So next,
We're wasting all of them in our first episode.
So Reese then brings up, like, they're talking about working there and stuff like that, and Reese, like, brings up a dress code, and I guess, like, there was this, I guess the implication is that, like, Reese and Finley want there to be uniforms, or, like, Reese really wants there to be uniforms, and everyone else is like, oh, not this shit again, and, like, leaves, like, gets up and leaves. And so Avery is in this weird spot of like, well, I'm the new person here, so like, do I sit here and listen to Reese talk about this thing that everyone's clearly mad at him about, or do I just bounce? And we can go help Mason and Hayes in the kitchen, and so we went and did that while Reese is bloviating about uniforms or whatever he's doing. And then, of course, once we get to the kitchen, we immediately are like, so can I help? And Mason's like, no. Mason's like, do you know anything about anything? And Avery's like, no. And so Mason's like, no, get out. And
don't touch anything and leave.
And so then we have another choice, and it's like, I guess I'll go, or, oh, come on, like, let me help you. And we say, we picked, I guess I'll go then. So then we just awkwardly leave. So we just walk into the kitchen to get out of talking to Reese, and then sit there for a second, and then walk back out.
And just from personal experience, knowing friends that are chefs, because I have a few of those, and my brother's a chef, like, that is legitimately what they'll do. They'll be like, oh, we hired the new guy? Okay, come on in. Do you know anything? No. Get the fuck out of my kitchen.
Yeah.
Can I help?
Did I know your brother was a chef? Because my brother's a chef.
Oh, no way.
Or what, a former chef. Yeah.
There we go.
Oh,
I think I kind of knew that, yeah.
How the fuck long have we known each other? I actually never knew that about whatever.
I don't know, 20 years, probably 17 years since college.
Something crazy, yeah, wow. I don't pay attention to things is why. But anyway, so, yeah.
Yep.
No, but, so my brother...
Anyone else got a brother that is a chef?
Also, say how long you've known each other.
Also, tell us if there's like a curse or not.
They started a restaurant together totally based off of making fun of Slowbeef and Jim with the names of all the menu items, but that's why they don't know about it.
We're going to find out our brothers work together.
And they've also been
friends
for 20 years.
Through the brother who's the chef. We don't realize it's the same person yet. Coming soon on season 4.
Wait, your brother does some video game podcast? Mine too!
We don't talk about that.
So we awkwardly return to the...
What's that other
cafe.
famous chef's name? I don't remember either.
Guy Fieri. So Avery runs out of things to be able to do, and is just like, oh, well, Landry's supposed to be training me, so I'm just gonna go find him. And Avery goes to go upstairs, and there's a big orange cat sleeping on one of the stairs, and so Avery's like, okay, you need to get out of the way, kitty, I'm gonna step on you, and the cat doesn't want to do it, and Avery's like, well, I guess I'm gonna have to pick up this cat and physically move him out of the way, and then another cat, bobtail cat, I guess is how they describe him, comes up to the cat that Avery's trying to move and starts kind of fighting with it, and Avery's like, oh gosh, like, okay, calm down, and Landry shows up and is like, oh, leave Hash Browns alone, and the orange cat is named Hash Browns, which is a great name.
Great name. Always name your pets after food.
And oh man, and especially for like a cafe that serves like coffee and like breakfast foods, cat named Hash Browns. So then Avery's like, Hash Browns is a great name for a cat. So like, what are the names of the other cats? And
boy, do I have them written down.
Oh, don't tell me about the cats.
So also I should note that for $250 in the Kickstarter, you could also name one of the cats in the game. Apparently there were 10 slots for that. I count like 12 here in my list, I think. But the names are Ramona, Shunsuke, Kotick, Owl, Bramblepelt, Now, Hisa, Valentine, Marina, Ein, like short for Einstein, which I'm guessing is Cowboy Bebop.
It had to be Bebop reference.
Yeah. Junta or Junta, and Jam Band. I
like the way that the dialogue displays too. It's like piecemeal, so it's like here's like So it was like, here's 3 names, and then Bramblepelt by itself, and then the more names. Like, as if that's how he was saying it, like, Bramblepelt. Giving it a minute to land.
Like he didn't want to
funny.
say it. Here's Bramblepelt.
And so Avery's like, oh, what about that other cat, the bobtail cat? And Landry gets real defensive and awkward and is like, oh, you should ask Reese later!
Definitely not Reese. Definitely not
No.
actually named Reese.
And then I think it's time to open the store.
Yeah. I should note Bramblepelt is a reference to my brother and me, a podcast I'm super into right now, and was probably the Bramblepelt joke is super old, and I was probably actually new when this game came out, but
Yeah, Bramblepelt is a good bad name for an animal.
and I'm wondering, I was like, my girlfriend is the one that told me that, no Kickstarter people named the cats. I'm like, but there's 12 here. Did the creators name it Bramblepelt because they wanted to sneak in references like they do? Or did someone else sneak in a reference?
It's a mystery.
We could probably just tweet the people who made the game and ask.
No!
We don't know how many questions we'll get of them. We have to prioritize.
Actually, I did tweet them and they didn't respond.
Snubbed.
Now, luckily, we have reached the point where we all ended our reading, and I believe I hear a crying baby in the background.
Oh, we gotta talk about who's the best.
Who's your
everybody's
favorite?
Who's everybody's favorite?
While we get away from Papa Slowbeef.
I like Jelly Donut the cat.
A strong move.
Nice. I'm going Mason. I think I like Mason the best. I like the laconic type.
Mason is, I think, the coolest one, and the one whose story I'm most interested in seeing. I think Hayes is probably the one I would say I would pick on my first playthrough.
I'm kind of liking Finley.
Yeah, just
Finley's
seems
a
sweet.
sweetie.
Finley-
I relate to her the most. And in terms of which one of these characters is the most my type, it's Graves. I realize what I'm saying and how that is an inherent self-own, but this is the way I've been made.
This happens.
Wait, didn't you earlier criticize that particular?
Oh,
trope?
I mean, not for Avery, but
Yeah, for
Just
you,
for
not
you.
for Avery. Nobody gets him.
no, Avery should not date their boss. No,
Okay.
that's not a good idea.
I think,
Nobody likes
So-
dating your boss.
Is your cat cafe boss really your boss, though? Because
I guess we'll find out.
Because, I mean, there's also just like, hey, I got some power over you. Like, no, you don't. I'm going to get a different job. I walked in here. All right, but anyway.
there is, one of the, it's funny you bring that up, because one of the endings is actually just quitting the job. And it's...
Which, not an unreasonable reaction when you find out they want to turn you into a cat.
and I think the achievement you get for that is called, You Can't Fire Me, I Meow Meow Meow.
I like that one.
But that's sort of one of the bad ends, and I think that's actually the only... Maybe there's 2 bad ends, I don't know. Whatever. But... Beef, who are you... Who's most your type? Let's get you in more trouble with your wife.
You heard I was going to get my damn kid. I was hoping to just sort of ride the end of the podcast. Who's... I guess Finley, I don't know. I don't really know anything about the characters, really, Graves is... I'm not a big Graves fan. What's the... I'm sorry, I'm blanking. Hayes?
Hayes
The
is
shy guy?
Yeah.
He seems okay. Maybe, the cat art's nice, I suppose,
He's got
I
that
don't
going
know.
for him.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know enough about people. Mason can fuck right off. I don't go in for that like you eat here now every day. It's like I don't know you. I just started here, so I don't know. We'll see. I guess
it is. So, I mean, a few of you picked Finley, and when we were deciding the route to go on, I just said, "Hey, let's go Finley." And part of that is because she's sort of the easiest to fall into, sort of the easiest to get along with, I guess. So, I think it's a good introductory route, and like you figure some of the overarching hidden story and also get to have your gamer girlfriend.
You cut out again.
The internet is so into.
Cut out again. Yeah, I'm sorry. That sounded like a really good wrap up or whatever.
That's fine. It was. It's on my end.
It's on the local recording, right? So it's just gonna be us
so we're all
reacting.
gonna be like, "You made a great point." We'll be like, "I didn't hear a damn word of that."
Like we're all just
and then
pretending.
we listen to it later on YouTube or on the podcast, and it's like,
no, we don't listen to it.
No, we don't listen to it. Well, we do for like the first 30 minutes, and then we kind of give up.
How far do we want to read for next time?
Dectalon, what do you think?
Put that in. Yes, the one listener of our podcast, Dectalon. Please let us know.
I'd like you all to play ActRaiser 2. All right, now I'm sorry. Anyway,
were you just mocking our one listener? Jesus Christ!
It's a way to alienate our audience.
If there's anything we can
Now
be
he's
doing
gonna go listen to
differently-
Dodger too.
damn you, Dodger. All right, what are we reading for next time?
I think we're gonna be going towards when we get the book, the quote unquote ominous book.
The book.
T-Vac, you accidentally read to that part. Does that sound like a good stop? It's been a while since I played.
I think there's a kind of a natural break point when Avery gets the book and then reads it, and then there's like a time lapse that's like, I've been reading this book for several days, and so I think that's probably the good cutoff.
Yeah, I think that's probably a good one.
Okay.
Sure.
It might be a little short, so we'll see.
Yeah, if we feel it's a little short, we'll make amendments and.
Yeah, maybe we'll make a radical change and read early.
I mean, I have yeah, absolutely. I have time. I might read a little early.
A first on Visual Novel Book Club. People being on time.
I never read any of Ever 17, actually. No, I'm joking.
Picked my way through it. It was like, oh yeah,
Just
sure,
read
really.
the entire thing.
I warned you about this. I warned you if you ever admitted to me that you didn't do any of the readings, I would burn this podcast to the ground, and that threat still stands.
Yeah,
I
whatever,
actually
Mason.
didn't know anything. I never read the Mute Route.
I haven't read a thing.
I don't even know how to.
I don't know how to read.
I never learned how to read.
I know, we're
Baby
really
like
funny,
that one.
aren't we?
I have to keep that in, damn it.
Baby's like, I identify with that. I don't know how to read either.
The best review of this podcast.
You're the new Dectalon.
I'll just play it on the crib, yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna stop recording.
All right, take it easy, everybody.
Bye bye.
So long.